Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
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 Yes, Mr. Chairman, are you able to start the meeting?
Hey, Diesel.
Mr. Chairman, are you able to start the meeting? Mr. Chairman, are you able to start the meeting?
Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Uh, by show of hands. Babu. Irene. Mula. Diesel. Lucas. Karibuni.
Asante.
Asante sana.
How is the
Kwema.
Doma?
Safi tu. Sinyie huko.
Everything is well, okay. Are we missing anybody?
Yes, I think Super Jackson Mohammed is missing.
Jackson.
The former vice treasurer.
The current Vice Treasurer.
Oh, you super. The vice treasurer, right?
Yeah.
And Matayo?
And Matai as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, in our agenda. We first of all, can I open this AGM? So I think we should consider this as our first annual general meeting for Tanzania Rugby Union, and I would really love to acknowledge the uh, previous committee that was chosen recently, just on March, and the work that they have done. So to set up this TRU and have rugby back in Tanzania, and we start this thing afresh and up and running. So I would love to clap and congratulate all the members that have been part of this volunteering mpaka today. So actually, I will just quickly uh, introduce myself. I am Jacob Jonas. I am acting as a vice president who is going to be chairing this meeting. Uh, we have other members from different areas, including Dodoma, Moshi, Arusha, as well as Dodoma. So we have been having actually now that Tanga there is a problem there with the network and it's pouring rain out there, so they have asked us to carry on with the meeting, and they will go through the minutes, and they're willing to be part of us. It's just that they unfortunately they cannot join us right now. So if I could go to the agendas, uh, which is, of course, agenda number one, which is introduction, which I have done the introduction. The number two was apologies for absence, which I've only got confirmations from Tanga. I'm not sure about Mateo. He has not told us if he would not be part of this. Maybe he will join in later. Number four, it's on the agenda. It's the minutes of the annual meeting held that was held previously. Like I said, we had a mini committee that was its job was to get back the TRU and get all the clubs registered and to be part of the TRU. And if you could go to the previous links, you could find the minutes there. And if there is any matters that will rise, we'll be more than happy to answer them in the next in the next meeting that will be held. Otherwise, I would love to to go to the agenda number 6, which is the report. And we have the report from the secretary as well as the treasurer, and of course the president. So without further ado, I would love to invite Babu Paul as our treasurer to speak on the report of that department.
Good evening, all members of the committee and all people who have attended on the YouTube link and you're very welcome. We want to thank you for your time and effort that you have made to make this AGM possible. We've done a lot of background work to do our best, and you must understand that under very difficult circumstances to cover the nation. The good thing is that if you do miss this, it can be revised.
Babu.
Our first official AGM meeting, and we're very extremely happy to have people on board. It's very encouraging, and we have a lot of new faces. On that point, I'd like everyone still to bear with us because we are taking baby steps, and I'm the only Babu around, and everybody else is just taking a little bit to work through the best we can. But believe me, our enthusiasm for rugby will take us all the way to score the tries. So I'd only like to really mention on the Treasury Department that we haven't had really activity course, which was attended very well by all regions, and I think a total of 30 members and players attended. We had educators from Kenya come down through the COVID borders and indeed gave us a very good weekend of coaching. And so we have level 1 coaches and referees. The cost of this exercise was 3.4 million shillings, and what has been sponsored from the Scorpion Rugby Club have supported 3 million shillings of this, and my own company Chem has supported 400,000 to the event. This was a major good step for us, and it gave a lot of encouragement for the people who qualified to go back to their clubs and to start their programs. And we are now preparing budgets for the oncoming league, which will be attended by at least 6 to 7 of the clubs, which is a fantastic achievement in a short time. And we're very open and hoping that other clubs will come on board and step up. So we haven't really got a balance sheet to show you because we simply haven't got to that stage that we have an incoming amount of money or an outcoming amount of money. What has been used so far is from everybody's pockets, and we have held it together so far. But in the future, the Treasury will be a big part of this, because simply we are expecting to be funded through Rugby Africa and World Rugby. So this is going to be a busy department, but because we hope that we get this funding and we will be distributing it in the right manner to develop and play rugby in Tanzania. I have nothing else to really report on this, on the financial side. And I appreciate the support I've had from my vice treasurer. And firstly, but I also appreciate all the support from all members of the committee in whatever role they've done. And if new members are coming on board, karibu sana. And those who are remaining, I look forward to working with you again, if indeed that I am voted into my position again. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Babu, for that report. And I would ask everyone to put their mic on mute if you're not speaking, so that we don't have to hear that background noise. Matayo, Irene, you can put your mic on mute unless you want to say something. Otherwise, asante Babu for that report. And Matayo from Mwanza, karibu. Asante for joining us. I would move to the next, of course, on the same agenda on reports. Let me come in first, then I'll ask Anthony to carry on from that. I will give a report as for the part of the president and the vice president. We were acting as vice president and president. So I would really love to acknowledge again the efforts that has been done on the committee that was chosen. It was such a short notice, but we have achieved some mileage, and we would really like to thank everybody. We now have not less than 7 to 8 teams, that is including Zanzibar, and planning on registering it and to get our names in the National Sports Council. We have had a couple of agreements with them so that they can get us the the rights to have back the union and start playing this sports called rugby in Tanzania in an official way and in a recognizable manner as any other union like TFF or so forth. So I would love to make a note of that. Thank you everybody that was part of the committee. You have made a tremendous job, and as well as our friends, our Scorpions, for helping us and to set up on some few things or when they were needed. But I would love to tell everybody that we are in good space, and the journey sounds promising. And I would love to invite Anthony to come and give a report on the secretary part. But as we all know, we have been having nominees putting up their names for different positions. And I would love Anthony to give his secretary report first, and to take us through the polls, the people that have sent in their for their roles, and to tell us who has been elected and the votes part side of it. So Anthony, karibu tuelezee about your report, and as well as you could take us through the votings. Hello, we can't hear you. Hello, Anthony. Hello, Anthony.
Hey, Jacob, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, I was saying that I don't know about you guys, but I've been having like a very bad experience with my internet. I think that is the reason as to why you guys cannot even hear me right now. But then, okay, I should get straight onto my report as the secretary. Well, most of the issues have been discussed. One of them was club registrations. We see right now we have about 8 clubs that are that have been registered, and some are still pursuing to complete the registration with the National Sports Council. But then it's a very good step where we are right now. Mr. Chairman, you've spoken about this. We've had the refereeing and the coaching training, which was held in Moshi. We've had over 30 members that went and got training. So right now we're confident enough to say that we have over at least 2 or 3 members in each region that is a qualified level 1 coach and a referee. The other thing that I could talk about when it comes to my report is the constitution. It's a very good step where we are right now, and we have the constitution already in English. The next step that we're going through is to convert the constitution from English and back to Swahili so that it could be understandable to each and everyone. That's pretty much of what I really wanted to report about. If you guys are still listening, so I could just go straight up to the polls and see the election, how everybody submitted his or her name and how the votes came in and what are the results right now. Are you guys ready for that?
Yeah.
Can I raise one point from the secretary, please?
Okay, please.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Secretary, for your report. I wanted to clarify that we did publish a summary of the Constitution in Kiswahili some 2 weeks back, and this is a process which we need all our correspondence in Kiswahili and English, and so it's quite tasking on our admin side of things. And of course, at this point, we've only able to do a summary of the main points of the Constitution, because once we've formed our new committee, we will be working to modify the Constitution, and therefore then the modified version of the Kiswahili Constitution will be available for everybody, which will be adopted by voting. So that was the only addition I had to say. And yes, please, can you go ahead now with the voting so we all know where we stand?
All right, are you guys still with me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, so we had various positions for the TRU committee, starting with the president. One person applied for president, which is Jacob Jonas, and 5 votes have come in for Jacob as the president. And then we had Matayo as the vice president, and 5 votes have come in for Matayo. And then we had General Secretary Anthony Edward Dawa. 5 votes came in for Anthony Edward Dawa. And then we had Vice Secretary and Admin Tabitha. 5 votes came in for Tabitha. And then we had Treasurer. 2 people were running for this position. There was Mr. Paul and there was Fanus. So Mr. Paul, 5 votes came in for Mr. Paul. And then for Fanus, 3 votes came in for Mr. Fanus. And then we had Vice Treasurer. There was only one name for Vice Treasurer, Kelvin Gabriel. 4 votes came in for Kevin Gabriel, 4 votes. And then we had director of rugby, where we had Eric Mulamula and we had Joel, whereby Eric Mulamula has taken over with 4 votes, whereas Joel has only had 1 vote. Representative of referees, Daniel Shirima, 4 votes came in for Daniel Shirima. And then we had women development, only 1 name was up for this, Irene, 5 votes came in for Irene, 5. And then we had regional development officers. So we had the North region and the South, but we had only 1 name for the South, which was Musa Shabani. Musa got 4 votes. And then we had a suggestion. Actually, we had put up Daniel Shirima as the club representative for Arusha Dumas, but then the Arusha Dumas themselves have picked Lucas Laurent to be the club representative for the Dumas. So as the results have come in, that's how we stand, with Jacob as the president, Vice President Matayo, and then the General Secretary Anthony Dawa, the Vice Secretary Tabitha, and then we have Paul, Mr. Paul as the treasurer, and then we have Eric Mulamula as the director of rugby, and then we have Kelvin Gabriel as the vice treasurer, and then we have Daniel as the representative of the referees. We have Irene as the women rugby development, and then we have Musa representing the South region for development, and then we have Lucas Rowland, who has been picked as the club representative for the Arusha Dumas. That's all from my side, you guys.
Once again, sorry to interrupt, Mr. Secretary. To follow the protocol, we need someone to nominate either on block this group or individually to take aboard their positions, and we need someone to second it. Although we have the votes behind it, and we also stop at this point to hear from the floor if there's anyone else has any points or voting or anything to mention. Although the nominations were closed on the 27th, we are still open to the floor if any other votes to come in or any remarks to come in. So to be democratic, we have to be completely open to everyone. And I hope that anyone is listening on the floor, on the open YouTube, that they can send in messages, and we provided numbers, and also on this link you can send in messages. If we receive nothing more, then we should now adopt our standing committee, but to do it we need it to be nominated officially and seconded, please, with Mr. Chairman and the Secretary. Thank you, sir.
Asante Babu, Asante Anthony. Like Babu said, we are still receiving votes, so you can send the votings to the either on a number that was shared, which is 0717 610 271 0717 Hapo unatuma kwa ajili ya kuchagua kiongozi ambaye unataka awe kwa ajili ya positions ambazo ziko, na pia unaweza ukacomment kwenye YouTube and as well as unaweza ukatuma kwenye link hapa kama ni member. Sasa nina Daniel.
Yes.
Yes.
nilikuwa na issue, kuna hii development officer iko upande mmoja, kwa upande mwingine, kwa sababu bado niko free na ligi haijaanza, singeweza kuchukua hiyo position na karani wakati nasubiria ligi ianze, kwa sababu nimeshakuwa nikifanya development na North side yote.
Ndio, hilo ni wazo zuri, na kama tulivyofikiria kwamba una kila sababu na una vigezo vya kuwa development officer. Sasa kwa sababu wewe uli apply kwa ajili ya referee, nafikiri baada ya kikao kijacho tutaangalia jinsi gani na voting na the new committee how tunaweza tukaswipe hizo positions ili tuendelee wewe uwe kama party ya North na Musa awe kwenye hii party ya South. Sawa. Kwa kuwa mimi ni Jacob Jonas na nimeweka jina langu kama raisi, na so far kuna votes kama 5. Kwa hiyo ninaomba niendelee kuchair hichi kikao, tuendelee na any other agendas ambazo zipo kwenye meza, na kama tunavyosema unaweza ukaendelea kutuma pamoja na votes zako kwenye zile numbers ambazo tumezitaja. Otherwise naomba niende kwenye another agenda ambayo ni union pamoja na clubs. So technically what we want to speak on the union, on the clubs. On the union, right now we had a meeting with the National Sports Councillor, and they had given us some few tasks regarding on what to do so that we can have back our TRU, that is including setting up and registering all the clubs that are existing in Tanzania, and on the same time preparing for a league, and that they will come and administrate that and see the capacity that we have, and later we can carry on with the TRU. And on the clubs, kila clubs sasa hivi tuko kwenye mchakato wa kufanya registration ambao tulikubaliana by early next month, and by end of this month tuwe tumeshafika in a good position whereby sasa hivi kila klabu ina constitution yake na wanazipitia. Kwa hiyo imebaki stage ya kusajili pamoja na kuziwakilisha kwenye kila wilaya zake. Cha tatu kwenye club na union we are working on the fixtures for the next tournament. We are expecting to have a tournament maybe a month time from now. So after having together with the union and registering all the clubs, then we will go ahead with the tournament. And soon, when the new committee wakishaka chini, we will plan on the schedule and fixtures and when to start and which teams will be involved in. Otherwise, I don't have much to say on my plate right now. I would love to give a chance and a room for anyone, everybody, including YouTube, as well as the members that are here, for any questions, and we will we'll answer accordingly. So tunakaribisha maswali yote. Kama una swali lolote kuhusiana na rugby, na kama una any question, so please raise your hands, and so that we can hear if you have any questions. Yes, Babu.
Sorry, I got lost a little bit. I had to reconnect. To keep things according to the agenda, can we conclude the elections of the main committee? And if there's been any other votes or any other changes to what has already been declared by the secretary, can we conclude this and then we can move on to the players club representatives, which at this moment not completely named unless I missed it when I was off. Thank you.
Sorry, Babu. Could you please repeat that?
I lost my connection and I may have missed something.
Yes.
But are we now in a position to complete the election of our new committee accordingly? If there's been any other information from the floor or any other votes come in which has changed the results, then we should need to be aware of that. And if we are still on the same track, then could we go ahead and adopt these and have someone second it, please? And then we can move on to the listings of the clubs and the club representatives.
Yes, Anthony. Do we have any changes on the do we have someone sending in for votes?
So no votes have come in, like on my number right now, but then I don't know about YouTube and the comments here. Maybe let me check. But no one has sent me a text to add on anything when it comes to the voting. I can't see any comments either. So I mean, maybe after this meeting, I'll go back and look at the comments on YouTube and maybe even get the comments on this live chat from Mr. Will, and then I'll give back the general results.
There is a question there from a hand raised there from Babu.
Okay.
I think we've given it ample time for people to come and correspond. We've given plenty of open warning, and during this meeting, another 10 minutes has passed if anyone wanted to vote. I would like to propose that we vote on block all the names mentioned. I would like to propose those are passed as members, and I beg the chairman also to find someone to second this vote, and if there's any dispute, then the chairman has the vote. Thank you.
Okay, that is well noted. Lucas.
Ambie,
Habari ya Dodoma.
safi tu.
Ya karibu kwenye AGM yetu ya kwanza. Kuna swali ambalo uko nalo kwa kuhusiana na yale ambayo tumeyazungumzia mpaka sasa?
Hapana, sina swali.
Daniel.
The development officer post in north side.
Sorry?
The development officer posting on north side. I think we need to clarify about that.
Yes, Anthony.
When it comes to the North Development Officer, a suggestion came in from Phil that Daniel Shirima should be handling the club referee representatives, and also he should become the North Officer of Development. So when it comes to another suggestion is just that has just come in is Daniel Shirima should be having two positions at the same goal. Like he should handle the referees and represent them, but also handle when development of rugby in the north. That's it.
Yes, Mula.
Good evening, everyone. On my side, according to whatever Anthony's suggestion, when it comes to the development officer, as they've already elected Musa. Now, what I was suggesting was since every club has a representative in the union, yeah, so probably the development who is Musa now currently, he could communicate or liaise with all of these different club representatives from each region for any communication or arrangements or any development kind of bits than us having a north person, the south person. I don't really see it's very necessary. I don't know. That's just my suggestion.
Yes. Babu, you wanted to put something?
I think it's very fine. We would like more members on board, and rather than people have double roles, we would prefer to have more members. It's more healthier than everyone, but I do understand at this moment, possibly the refereeing position on the committee isn't so demanding. So I would propose that Daniel can take both positions, and now we move to conclude this election of the new committee. And so I am proposing now on block. In other words, all the main all the main members are voted in the position, and I will propose that. If someone could second that, if they agree, and if there's any dispute, the chairman has the right to deal with that, to take it the other way if he wishes. We don't want to use much more time, and we need to move on to so many other points of agenda. Please, gentlemen and ladies.
Yeah, Irene. Okay, Mula.
I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but on the charts there are people who have questions. Yeah, I think this mostly goes to the secretary. There's someone here who has asked that do we know how many players have currently completed the registration? So, the secretary, please, you can give them those numbers if you have them intact. Anthony?
Mr. Secretary.
Eric, can you go again? I couldn't hear anything. Can you go again?
Okay. On the charts section, there's a question from Mr. Mark Davis saying that do we know how many players have currently completed a registration? So if you know the number and you have the exact number, then please let us know, because we want to know as well how far we have reached.
Jacob, have you heard Mula? Can you read what he was saying? Because I'm not getting anything on my side.
Maybe I can. There's a question coming from Mark Davis. Is asking if we know how many players that have currently been completed in the registration. Okay, so I could help with that since I have some details from the secretary. There's an issue with his internet, but yes, we like we said we have about uh, 7 teams, which is Mwanza and Dodoma, Arusha, Moshi, Tanga, Dar es Salaam, and as well as we have Zanzibar, and in all about these clubs, we have not less than 15, 15 just to put a number out there, we have not less than 15 players in each club, so which makes us like a total of about 100 and something players. So, like we said, we are still in a registering process, so that we can have as much as players as we have. We can have as much as report, which are promptly and precise, so that we have the right calculations. Now we know exactly what's the number we have for the team and each clubs are around across Tanzania. Yes, Babu.
Yes, sorry, Mr. Chairman, I have to interrupt. I find this little bit of the protocol is being slipped here. I came with a proposal that a block voting, and we went straight into a different subject altogether. I have to insist for the protocol of this AGM that we conclude what we are. I will be very happy to hear that we have concluded our election of the office and we move down to on the agenda, which is to cover sorry, I have to remind you of that.
Sorry, I didn't get the last part.
Thank you. Could we continue with the election of officers as the agenda?
Yes, I gave her the chance for Karibu Kelvin, actually from Moshi, so that Antony can continue to gather the informations. So Antony, if you have all the necessary information for the votings, could you please carry on with that? And it's almost 5, so maybe we can count this as the last minute for the receiving votes. Otherwise, we can consider now as the last. Yeah, it's almost 5, so I think we can close the votings, and you can carry on with announcing. Yes, Anthony. Anthony. Hello, Anthony. There's an issue with the network, perhaps. I think once he comes in, he will give us the yes, Bob. Hello, Babu. Babu. Babu, can you hear me? You were raising your hand.
Yes, I must insist that now enough time has passed and we should conclude the elections, even if the secretary has temporarily disappeared. We can't move on to other parts of the agenda when we haven't concluded the main purpose of the AGM.
Yeah, sorry. Now that Anthony is back online, we have closed the votings. Can you carry on with the announcements, please? Anthony. Anthony. Your mic is on mute.
So Jacob,
There's a bit of challenge.
hello?
Anthony.
Yo, Jacob, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. So we have closed the voting. Could you give us the updates?
Okay, I haven't seen any vote coming in by SMS, so I'm assuming we're still standing the same way the results were the first time, where we have President Jacob Jonas with 5 votes, Vice President Matayo with 5 votes, then we have General Secretary Anthony Edwadawa with 5 votes, then we have Vice Secretary Tabitha with 5 votes, and then we have Treasurer Paul with 5 votes, and then we have Vice Treasurer Kelvin Gabriel with 4 votes, and then we have Director of Rugby Mula with 4 votes, and then we have Representative of Referees Daniel with 4 votes. We have Women Rugby Development Irene with 5 votes, and then we have Musa Shabani as the South Region Development Officer. And then we have Lucas Laurent, who has been suggested by the Arusha Dumas to be their club representative. That's it.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, Tony, asante kwa hizo information. Nafikiri
Okay.
as ulivyofanya ni sawa na tunaweza tukakubaliana na matokeo ambayo yamepatikana kwa sasa, na kama kuna positions ambazo zitakuwa hazijapata mtu, basi kwenye kikao kitakachokuja tutaangalia jinsi gani tunavyoweza kukaa kama committee na kuchagua zile position ambazo zimekuwa hazijapata mtu. Yes, Babu.
So on that point, again, I am nominating the elected as listed this proposal, this position. en bloc, that all of them together have been agreed by the committee and all the open members who have voted. I am proposing this.
Yes. Would you, Irene, would you want to say something?
With the respect, it's only a yes or no. I agree to my proposal. Is someone has to agree it or disagree it, and then it's not to talk too much more on this subject. With the respect.
Yeah, I agree.
There should be someone from the committee who agrees, and the chairman holds the position in case of any dispute. So it has to be seconded by, my proposal has to be seconded by one of the committee members, please, currently.
I agree.
Thank you, Irene. If there's no one disagree, then can I suggest the secretary take this motion forward and the new committee is adopted?
Yes, Mr. Secretary, carry on.
So as the Constitution states, and all that we have agreed right now, I am carrying this forward with the new committee members that have been elected. And I'm handing over to Jacob, who is now not only our president, but the general chairman of this committee, the Tanzanian Rugby Union. So, Mr. Jacob, Mr. President, karibu sana.
Hongera.
Asante. Well, I am speechless. I don't know what to say, but anyways, I'm really honored and I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and I will use all of my time and ability to run with my colleagues and the people that I'll be working with hand in hand, so that we make sure we take it rugby to a place where it belongs. So I really appreciate for everybody that voted for me, and for the new members, I would love to congratulate you guys. Kazi bado, we have a lot to accomplish, and we should mark this as the beginning of our journey. So without further ado, I would love to carry on with the agenda that has been put on the table, and I would love to welcome any questions, or if anyone has, and if you have any compliments or something to add on, tunakaribisha mawazo yenu na michango yenu. Ndio Babu.
Yes, I just request the secretary to run down the list of clubs and their representative and the roles of those positions of those clubs. And can we just acknowledge that as because the club representatives will also be voting members in our monthly or weekly meetings, whatever we have. So I'd like that acknowledged now, as for the records, that each club has a representative and the ones which are the voting members and the ones which are affiliated clubs. Can the secretary or our president elect, can he now take us through that? I'd be most grateful.
Anthony, can you take us through it, or should I?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. So the clubs representatives and the clubs that are under the Tanzanian Rugby Union so far, we have Mwanza Rock Lizards Rugby Football Club. Their representative is Abel Kisoso.
Hello, Anthony. Okay, let me. I have a list as well. So, for like you said, for Mwanza Rocks Lizard, the representative is Abel Kisoso. For Dodoma Dragons, the representative is Lucas. For Moshi Bulls, the representative is Jackson Wilfred Limo. For Tanga Warriors, we have Ibrahim. For the Leopards, the Cubs, we have Vasco Moria. For Zanzibar, we have Philip Wash. And for Arusha, we have Mateo. And for the affiliated clubs, we have the Leopards. They have not really yet given us the specific person per se as for the representative, but as well as we have Arusha Rhinos for and their representative is Josh Peterson, and we have Scorpions Rugby Football Club, and their representative will be Freddie Davis. And those are, so we have about 3 affiliated clubs, and we have about 7 representative club members.
Thank you for that, Mr. Chairman and Secretary. We're very happy and very honored to have a good number of clubs and representatives, and we look forward very much to working with them on the forthcoming league. Can we talk about the league?
Yes, now we are on the AOB, so we could speak about the league. And I would love to have the members, Daniel, Mula, to at least hear the ideas on this.
All right. So, Mr. President, what kind of ideas are you talking about? Are we talking about having tournaments, probably, or what exactly? Short term, long term?
Yeah, of course, short term for the moment. Then we can carry on with the long terms, maybe for the when we're having the next.
Okay, cool. To what I mean, in the last meeting we went at the BMT, the Sports Council. From what I understood was we first need to register all the clubs. Then after that, we could send them an invitation or kind of invite, like an invite just to come and watch the games and to see that how organized we are, so that we can revive back the rugby union. Yep. So, to my understanding, there was a game last weekend in Zanzibar. So there are a few of the dark Cubs and the Leopards. They went up there, played a good game. That's what I heard from Philip. So I think we should have more of that. But I don't know how our finances are at the moment, because for a game to happen, one team needs to travel to another region, and there's some expenses which come along. So I don't know how it is with that part. Babu, I don't know how you organize yourself, but let's just have a tournament. It may not be home and away, but we can get something going on. It can be a tennis tournament, yeah, held, let's say, in Arusha or in Mosho or in Dar, but at least all the teams come together, and then we show them that, hey, we got something going on. First of all, you gave us a few tasks. The first one was to register. We've registered. We've accomplished it. The second is to organize one joint inter-regional tournament, which now we're doing it, and we've invited you. So to them, they will see some seriousness in us, and also us. We shall have a bit of an advantage that, we're all together in one place, having a tournament going on, showing people what we're doing. It puts us in a better position. So I think these tournaments which are joint are much easier to organize than to have home and away at this time. But let's keep in mind, let's have the fixtures on. So, sometime maybe in October or November, we could start something, Yeah, that's just my suggestion.
What's your suggestion, Babu, on this?
Yes. As I was aware, there was some already proposed possible dates and the way we would be able to hold a league fixture. Although we won't be able to finalize it, we would like to mention that we are very much in the process of concluding that. Regards to the financing of that, until we have discussed it and understood exact logistics of whatever we will do, whether we have a tournament type league or whether we are we'll start with the north and the south concluding. Until we have those, can we put a budget together? Therefore, we will be able to then seek the finance to cover that. I have some assurances that for the purpose of getting going, we will definitely be able to do what we can to fund a reasonable league program. We have a chicken and egg situation. If we don't do one thing, we don't get another, and if we don't do the other, we don't get the. So we must play. We are here to play rugby, and we need to find the answers, and we need to start arranging games. And it's very important on this meeting, or if not, the next meeting, that we have definitely got some program and dates together. So if you players and the representatives of all the clubs, playing clubs, can propose a time frame, then from our side, we will start working on the budgets, and we will do the best we can to support whatever reasonable requests come in. I believe also there was a proposed league that does consist of everyone playing, and this was produced by Philip Wash, who is now the Zanzibar representative, and he was a former development. So we need to revise this, and I hope you guys have some more ideas. One of the best suggestions so far is that we have a very long weekend and we can do a tournament type league, which will at least bring everyone together. We can combine it with the games and combine our fellowship as well as using that time for coaching and classwork. So this would be the main suggestion to try and do this. Whether it would be on the in the north or the south, we need to decide. But please, we need to take this one forward very strongly, because it's a very big point for us and the Sports Council and Rugby Africa. We need this in place, please. Thank you.
Again, on a chat comments, there's some few bloods that have shared their their ideas. I prepare a league. This is coming from Philip. I propose a league that consists of everyone playing each other once, either home or away. Then also, again, I believe a weekend-long 10th tournament would go a long way to getting all the teams ready to play 15th league and a chance to get people back playing also. I believe those are nice comments, which of course we are noting them down. And when we are sitting in our next committee, new elected members, I'm sure we will come up with a answer to that. Otherwise, I would love to welcome anyone for any AOBs. Daniel, if you want to comment on the league. Irene, Kevin, Matayo, you are quiet. Would love to hear something from Mwanza. Kevin, Abel, Kisoso, you are all welcome for any comments. Daniel.
Hello guys, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, Kevin. Yes, Kevin.
Okay, I would like to ask a question. Whereby in Moshi, we have an elected leader who is Jackson, and so far, the team or the players, they don't get any information from him, or they don't know what is going on. But sometimes he's missing in the meetings like this, like now he's not in. I've been attending many meetings, and he's not appearing. So I would like to ask the committee or those in authority to just give us the way forward. Thank you.
Sorry, Kevin, could you please repeat that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You can hear me, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was asking, in Moshi, we have an elected leader who is Jackson, who is now representing the Moshi Bulls in these annual meetings. And so far, I've been listening and joining the meetings. And we as Moshi rugby team, we have not get any information. Maybe other members of the club, they know nothing going on this rugby, because Jackson has not been attending some of the meetings. Like now you can see he's not even in. So the team back there knows nothing about this committee. So I was asking if the committee or those in authority to just communicate to us that what is going on, because the one elected is not there. He's not telling the people what he's supposed to say. What about what they're supposed to know? That's what I mean. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Asante, Kevin, for your question. Can can I get all the questions, then we could answer them at once? If anyone else with a question or any A or B, I would love to gather them together so we can answer them at once. Then we move to another agenda. So Mwanza, I'd love to hear from Mwanza. Matayo, can you at least bless us with your word from Mwanza?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay. So here I was in President. Yes, I because I did that.
Sorry, Matayo, you could turn. Sorry, Matayo, you could turn off your camera so for a better quality. So you could turn off your camera so we can just hear you for a better quality. You could turn off the camera so we can, yes.
Okay. So you know we have time for this way we not have time to pray because I have been my time. So yesterday and after finish. So now let's moving to so in there. So because it's very normal we most of people push and ask about so I'm with them. All I can say we're moving and we are play and really come up as well. But education I didn't need to hear is very efficient. I didn't so I'm looking forward to because I'm living today evening meeting. Yeah, that's all I have. Maybe any question?
There's actually maybe a network issue with Mateo. We cannot really hear you correctly, but you can easily comment on a chat, and we could review your question and put it forward. Otherwise, do we have it? Yes, Babu.
I totally support you that the network is a problem. No one can really hear and understand, and the time is going on. We're 1 hour and 20 minutes into the meeting, and we're hearing some grievances, and I think that these will be dealt with at a committee level, and we will do our best to this is why we are doing more and more, and we have our every area represented. So we will make sure everyone has a better opportunity. But at the moment, with the network, it's a bit frustrating for everyone. And we also must understand we have an open audience sitting there. So with the respect, we should keep to the matters of the agenda more, and we should take the conclusion of the meeting.
Yeah. So like Babu said, we can have all the matters you could have all the matters written down, then you could share with them to me and or Anthony, who is our secretary. Then we can continue with those matters for the next meeting with the new elected members. Otherwise, I would love to even remind everyone, and even TRD, as well as the rhinos and the leopards, there is an opening invitation if they want to be full members. So they can move from the affiliated members to full members. There is the opening invitation for the leopards, rhinos, and as well as TRD. With that, I have on my agenda, the next the agenda that we are having is the questions and any other businesses. But due to time and the network, I would love to move to the next agenda, which is the announcing of the date for the next meeting, which will be done in August 8th or 7th. The secretary will share the letter for the meeting, where we will have all the new appointed members sit down and start this journey as we promised, and taking care of the matters like registration, so that we can get it done with the Tanzania Sports Council, as well as so that we can have all the criteria done for the Africa Union, and as well as to go to the IRS. Otherwise, we are getting good feedbacks from the comments, and there's an invitation from Mr. Wayne. He would love to invite the national team to go to Lao, which is I believe this is in Asia, and they have completed their IRB status early this year. So there's a task for us as Tanzanians as well. So we have an opening invitation next year. So this is our task, so we can get the national team down in Lao. Otherwise, that will be the next meeting, and we will deal with all the matters, and we will start from there. Otherwise, if there is nothing that someone wants to raise, if Anthony would want to add on anything else, Babu, Lucas, Irene, the floor is yours before we call this meeting an end. Secretary.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to come in and offer my final words, if I may. I would first of all like to thank you taking the presidency and chairing this meeting, but also to thank everyone who stood for nominating. Even if you weren't successful, we would like to approach you. We need subcommittee people, and we need a lot more activity within the whole of Tanzania administration, as well as on the field. We have been very honored and very privileged to work with people this last 4 months on the committee, and we have achieved an awful lot. We've had a lot of challenges, but we've certainly taken some major steps. Secondly, I really appreciate everyone coming on board, the affiliated clubs, and we always say we are the rugby family and everyone is welcome on board. If there's anyone on the edge who wants to come in, karibu sana, karibuni. This is really our chance now to take rugby forward in Tanzania. Pat on the back for everyone. Well done. Hongera sana. Mambo bado.
Kweli. Uh, oh, okay. Kevin, just a reminder not to sio kwamba we are not gonna give an answer to your question. Like we said, we will have another meeting with the new elected members. So we will definitely put your matters first, since you are the one that put this matter across. So it will be dealt in the next meeting. So don't feel neglected. Anthony, you want to say something? Well, there is we can't hear you, Anthony, and does anyone online, or Eric, Lucas, Mateo, Abel, if you want to say the last words before we officially yes, Eric. Your speaker is on mute. Eric. Matayo? Matayo, we can hear you. Well, seems there is a network issue, but I'm glad we got to cover almost all the agendas that were for this AGM, and I would really love to thank everyone and everybody that have participated on this. We thank you, everybody that have joined through YouTube, the people that are sending in their comments. We will take note on each and every comment, and we see how we can discuss them in the next AGM meeting. Otherwise, I'm grateful and I'm honored, and ni kuwaambia tu viongozi wenzangu, kazi bado, and tuna safari kubwa na tumepata nafasi making this history. This is such an opportunity where we need to show our capacity, and we might not be the one playing maybe on the field, but we could be the one wearing the suits in one of the Olympics or national rugby, seeing Tanzania representing us in the sports, and that's the goal. Let's have the balls thrown around. Let's have the boys kicking the balls, the ladies kicking the balls. Let's spread this word of rugby across Tanzania as much as possible with the capacity that we have. And me, as a president, I am willing to be part of this and support in each and every way I can. And with that note, I would love to consider this as our last meeting, and our time is 5 4, so we can count this as mwisho wa kikao chetu, na tutaendelea kikao chingine ambacho kitakuwa tarehe 8 August. So the next AGM meeting will be held in August, which is next week. So the new elected members, you will be informed in ways ambazo tutatumia to communicate. Otherwise, I am grateful and I'm honored. This is a very good step for rugby in Tanzania, and I have nothing I can speak about at the moment. So may I declare this meeting over? Sio. Bye everybody. Kazi bado, Tanzania rugby ni sasa. So let's get the balls out there. Let's keep the momentum and the fire burning. Otherwise, you all have a lovely evening. Go ahead and watch some rugby today. It's the South Africans playing. So go and champion that to all the elected members. Well done, kudos. Tutakutana tena next week tuanze kazi yetu rasmi. Otherwise, everybody have a lovely weekend, and thank you for joining in.